Shut up, cow. Welcome back to the journey to the FarLands. Okay, alrighty. Let's get out of here and shut this cow up. Good grief. Alrighty. Oh, good grief. Will you shut up? I just tried to sprint again. There. That'll shut you up. Alright. Okay, find our direction here and head off onwards to the FarLands. Oh, just a second. I don't need that. I don't need that. There we go. Onwards to the FarLands. Alrighty. Well, that was a noisy start, wasn't it? Anywho, before I go forgetting again, because I mentioned at the beginning of last episode that I had forgotten to do this, and then I let myself get distracted, and I never got around to doing it. I even mentioned the world size report, and I never got to it. So, this time, I'm getting to it. The size of the world, as of the beginning of this episode, 4,858.7 megabytes. And this is the morning of the 403rd Minecraft day since leaving spawn, as we travel onwards, heading westward, walking to the FarLands, Minecraft Beta 1.7.3, and all of its epic terrain. Yeah, there. I actually got that in the way I'm supposed to, or at least the way I'm accustomed to. I don't suppose there's a supposed to in there anywhere, really, but it's what I've become accustomed to doing over the episodes and whatnot, and it just feels wrong when I don't do it. Yeah. And onward to the newer part of that tradition, which includes weight loss update information, basically where I report that my calories taken in for yesterday, the 31st of Halloween, which for me was just a few minutes ago because it's a little bit after midnight as I'm recording. The calories yesterday was 1,980, which is much, much better than the previous number that was there. And my weigh-in this morning, 296.2. And yes, that's up. And it kind of made me wonder, because I've noticed that the weigh-ins had been actually increasing for like the last few days. And it was just a little while ago that it finally occurred to me why that was the case. Because, well, it's actually quite simple why the weight has been going up instead of down. And that's because I have not spent any quality time in the throne room for about 3 days. And that's it right there. To put it simply, I'm full of it. Of course, we already knew that, but yeah. Basically, and this, while it doesn't necessarily sound like normal for most folks, this is actually pretty normal for me for, at least the last 20 or 25 years. And, yeah. Shape. Need that wool. Deal with it. You want to complain? Learn to grow that stuff back. Anyway, yeah. Basically, I'm on a usual cycle for me that basically I will go anywhere. It will be anywhere from 2 to 4 days, sometimes even 5, without spending any quality time in the throne room. How's that for a nice way to put it? And then all of a sudden things will change, and I'll be in there 3 or 4 or 5 times in one day. And this is when I will have a sudden drop in weight. Imagine that. Ain't that awful? Yeah. That's it pretty much right there in a nutshell. So I figure since it's been at least 3 days that sometime in the next 24 to 36 hours, I'm probably going to lose 5 or 6 pounds in a day. And it's not a matter of actually losing body mass. It's a matter of getting rid of a large mass of something I really don't want anyway. It's always hard to judge how far down you're going when there's snow involved. Yeah, so there you go. It's just a matter of time before this matter clears itself up and the morning weigh-in starts to show a number that is more in line with the weight loss efforts. I guess it's one form of how one's weight can fluctuate. And it's why I have, for a very long time, been a strong advocate of, before an official weigh-in, it's a good idea, shut up cow, if at all possible, to spend a little quality time in the throne room before weighing in, because, well, there are things that you don't want to weigh, because those things that you don't want to weigh are not actually a part of you. You know, it's just a byproduct that you wish to dispose of. And it really needs to be disposed of, ideally before a morning weigh-in or whatever time of day weigh-in. And yeah. Give me that. And I'll take yours too. Alright, is there another one over here? Yeah, good. Oh, you so-and-so. Yeah, alright. Anyway, so yeah. A healthy morning constitutional before weighing in is a really good idea. Of course, it's also true that you can't force the issue. That whatever routine or pattern, no, I'm not going in there. Whatever routine or pattern is normal for you is, well, normal for you. And so on. But to the extent possible, it's a great idea. Spend some quality time in the throne room. Lighten the load, as it were. And you will be much more pleased with what you see upon the scale. That's just the way it is. And I should be boating instead of derp swimming. Yeah. Because once it gets moving, it's faster. Even though the sun creeps to the horizon as I move towards the horizon and don't see any land. Well, I will venture forth anyway. In fact, I see some land right here. If nothing else, it's a handy island, which is a great place for a brief overnight stop. And Destructo boat. All right, so here we go. Okay, bed, and there we go. All right, nice sunset situation here. And onwards. Oh, I gotta learn not to come off that end. All right, and another boat. Okay, onwards, continuing. All right, anyhow, that's pretty much the size of that situation. And it's the reason why the size of me is apparently going up when more than likely it's actually going down. And yeah, I think in the next day or two that situation will correct itself, and my scale readings will be a lot more to my liking. Yeah. And, oh, by the way, yeah, somebody mentioned at some point that, you know, why don't you just break the boat and take it with you? Because you can't do that in this version. Actually, that ability to break a boat and actually get the boat back is fairly new in Minecraft. And it certainly was not a thing in beta 1.7.3. So that's the answer to that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. In reference to the previous episode, with car choices, and in particular the option of getting the DeLorean from Back to the Future and so on. In comments on that episode, ERL asks, so if the DeLorean did have a time circuit, what dates would you punch in and why? I thought about that just for a moment, and I have a perfect answer for that. Because taking something like a DeLorean into the past, especially if you're going back more than a few years, is going to be something of a problem. I mean, can you imagine showing up in like ancient Rome with a DeLorean? I mean, for one thing, how would you find a road good enough, flat enough, smooth enough, and long enough to get that beastie up to 88 miles an hour so that you could come back? You know, really. So, and going back even farther, well, the problem only gets worse the farther you go back. And so I thought about it, and I decided that the date that I would use would be something like probably, say, 30 to 50 years in the future from when I got it. From whatever date that it was at the time, add 50 years and go there. That's what I do. And why would I do that? Why choose that particular solution? Well, it's real simple. Upon arrival in the future, what I would do is seek out a library, or I don't know, maybe an internet cafe or something, you know, some kind of thing where I could spend some quality time examining historical financial information. Oh, come on. Yeah, so basically go about 50 years in the future and then look up the preceding 50 years worth of financial news. You know, what companies and products got really big and made lots and lots and lots of money, and what companies started out small and got really big, and so on. And basically, after about a good afternoon's reading of that kind of material, I figure I could come back to my own proper time with a good laundry list of investment ideas for the next 20 or 30 years that, with that investment ideas adhered to, could result in owning a tidy sum of monies. It would be the most practical thing to do, I think. To go into the future, research the next 20 or 30 years worth of financial information, stock market reports or whatever, and then come back to my own home time and use that information to guide investments. And basically, at the start, that would mean scraping together every cent I could to make the initial starting investments, because I would be investing in things that I know are going to pretty much blow up. Yeah. That's what I would do with the DeLorean. And then upon getting back, I would take that time-shifting DeLorean, and I think I'd park it someplace very secure and never tell anybody that I had it. I mean, it might be cool to say, hey, I've got the DeLorean from Back to the Future, and this one works. Oh, yeah, it sounds like it would be a cool thing to brag about, but really, you wouldn't want anybody to know you had it. Because that would probably be problems. Yeah. So that's what I would do with it. Absolutely. And what else I'm going to do is I'm going to pause real briefly. There we go. Much better. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Let's see what's going on. Well, let's see. I'm continuing to work on recording stuff and things for the FTB Insanity series. Getting into some stuff I've been kind of anticipating for a while, and that now I finally have the resources to do something with, which is to get into using some of the wonderful, fantastic goodies available thanks to the Red Power 2 mod. And I finally got to the point in that series where I have the resources available to actually do some stuff with that, and that's going to be good, because that's going to make a lot of inventory control kind of things easier, and certain automation things are going to be easier to do that way, or even possible. So that's looking like it's going to be a lot of fun to mess with. And I'm also starting to look into, I think I've mentioned this actually already, but I'm also starting to look into another series of mine that I ended up putting on hold back when I finally dawned on me the fact that I was basically doing too much at once. Like having more than one modded Minecraft series going at once can be a problem. And I'm starting to review a series that I put on hold, and by review it means I'm actually going back and rewatching my own episodes so that I can refresh my mind with what I've done before and what I was planning to do and so on. Maybe get a few fresh ideas for things I hadn't thought of before that, or before now, or whatever. And that's kind of a little bit of a nostalgia thing. Look back and watch. You ever watch your own old videos? I don't know. I guess it doesn't apply to everybody, but any of you who make videos, do you ever go back and rewatch your old videos? Especially the really old ones. Of course, this isn't a really old series, but the one I'm talking about isn't. But in this case, I have noticed it shows really seriously the thing like the sound, the way I sound in that series, in the early episodes of that series. It sounds all right. I mean, it's at a point in time where I had conquered most of my sound issues, and I was sounding reasonably good. But watching those old episodes and thinking about how that sound compares to the sound quality that I get from this microphone that I'm using now, as compared to the microphone I was using when I recorded that stuff. And it's every time I hear the old stuff, and my mind automatically compares how the sound is in the old stuff to how it is now when I'm doing the editing on current stuff. It's just a complete night and day thing. And I'm thinking, oh man, that doesn't sound so super great at all compared to what I can do now. I mean, it didn't sound bad, but now that I have this one, it's like I know what the good sound is, and that was okay, but it wasn't it. All right, time to make some boats. Definitely. Okay. Maybe cut a few more trees. I'd like to find a few more sheep, too. Okay. Collect yon workbench and move on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold it. Stop. Look at the compass. Look at where the needle's pointing. It's pointing in front of me. That's the wrong direction. I need to be going this way. I wonder when it was. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I wonder when it was I started going the wrong direction. I wonder how long have I been going east? Oh, come on. Oh, well. Whatever. Get moving here. Somewhere along the line, I stopped paying attention to the compass. That's the reason I keep this on the hotbar, because when it's pointing behind me, I'm going in the right direction. But when it's pointing like that, I'm making a terrible mistake and going east instead of west, because back that way is original spawn. And I don't want to go back there. It took me well, 132 episodes to get to here. I certainly don't want to go back. Yeah. Oh, gee. Talk about getting turned around. Obviously, I got turned around, and what I'm not sure about is when. It must have been at that last bed. That's the only thing I can think of. I must have gotten turned around there. Looks like I'm going to have to staircase up. Shut up, Cal. Or I'll send you into the past. Oh, boy. I'll bet you it's been ever since that last... I don't know. The last bed? That bed? No. It might be since the bed before that. Oh, boy. I have probably negated most of my progress this episode. Oh, boy. Well, that'll teach me. I can guarantee you that after this, I will be paying very close attention to that thing to make sure that I don't do this again. Oh, man. All right, let's get around here. Get out this way. It also could have been somewhere on the ice that this happened. I don't know. If I was looking at something and just let myself get turned around. All right. Heading in the right direction now, at least. Oh, boy. Well, strangely enough, this is not the first time I've done this. I recall one time I spent probably, what was it, half an episode walking to the south instead of to the west. Something like that. Oh, boy. I don't know. I'll probably see it in editing. When I'm editing the video, I'll see when it was I went the wrong way. In fact, I'm going to look for it. And yeah. That's a little bit. It's a little frustrating because the whole idea here is to just keep walking in one direction, and I managed to get turned around and walk the wrong direction. And not that any particular direction is right or wrong, but I've been going in this one direction since the beginning. I really don't want to go any other way. Going any other way is counter to making forward progress. You know, my progress has all been to the west. And going any other direction is going to be not a great idea. Oh, boy. How long was I doing that? Oh, boy. It's going to drive me nuts until I finish, until I get into the editing and actually see for myself how long I was going the wrong direction. Yeah. As a matter of fact, this will only take, to you, it will only take a few seconds. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I am back. I had to look, and I have reviewed the footage so far, and I spotted the point where I made the error in direction. At the first overnight, I left that spot headed east. And as I continued to travel, yapping away as I do, I neglected to look at the compass from 11 minutes into the video until about 24 minutes in when I noticed it. So basically, one Minecraft day going the right direction, one Minecraft day going the wrong direction, and now another Minecraft day going the right direction, making up for the error of the second day. Yeah. And I think it's probably a good chunk of the way into this one, because here I am. It's getting late in the day, and I'm going to need an overnight hidey hole. And yeah, so not a whole lot of forward progress today. Isn't that awful? Oh well, it's not end of the world kind of bad, but yeah, it's annoying, very annoying. And let's see, now, can I boat across this and find a good spot for the overnight before sunset gets too far along? I think probably. Let's keep that on the hotbar. I'm going, actually, probably, I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's move. There's some land. And yeah, I've been through here before. Looky there. And now I'm going to end up digging in right here. Right there. Because it is the end of the third day and it's time to dig in. And here's hoping that in the next episode I do not make this particular derpish mistake again. And that I actually travel in the right direction. Let's get some light in before I block anything off. There. Alright, let's dig this floor down a little bit. A little claustrophobic in here. Ooh, just lost a diamond pick. And that's the last diamond pick. I don't have enough diamonds to make any more, so now we're using iron. Okay. I knew that was going to happen eventually. Alright. The bed. And more beds. And boats. There we are. All right. Get this thing collected, and here's hoping the next episode does not contain quite as much wrong directional derpage, because that's not only is it counterproductive, it's kind of embarrassing to be that derpy. really. In any event, I hope you don't hold my derpage against me, and be sure to stop by tinfoilchef.com, where you too can donate to Child's Play charity and support a worthy cause. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Take it easy. I am out of here.